Hello, this is Gloria on Homestead Thursdays. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for everyone who has shown your continual support throughout the weeks. I want to go ahead and just get right into what I've been up to in the kitchen. All right, the first thing that I want to share with you is this sloppy Joe. Now, if you've been following me the entire time, I believe this may be episode 18 or 19. And this was one of the very first dishes on that first show. Now, I made this one a little different. I used a can of original Manwich. I used Emerge patties by Simple Truth. I actually used 4 of them to equal a pound. And then I doctored it up with some green peppers like I did the last time. But I also used some red onions, which you can see. Both Mario and I have tried this. Not with the whole ordeal, the cheese and bread and everything, but we sampled it. It's very good. Mario liked the last batch that I did, but I think he likes this one more. And what's so interesting to me is it has a little bit of a sweet kick. Now, when I freeze these, I will freeze it just like I did the last time. I will portion it out into baggies and I will lay them flat, and it freezes well. It doesn't take up a lot of space. Just take it out of the freezer. It unthaws quickly, and it's a nice little meal. I did that back in May, so I probably will do this again in December or so, because when I pack Mario's meals, I try to give him some variety, and I'll pack this week, and then I might pack it again in 2 or 3 weeks. All right, so it's just a simple meal, not really much of a recipe, but it is a vegan option. All right, going to move on to the next thing. I used some leftover pasta that I had. It was some type of red lentil pasta. And I told you that I had some tomato products in the freezer I wanted to take out to make space. So I took out some marinara sauce. I took out some tomato puree, warmed them up. I doctored them up a little bit. And then I cooked that pasta, mixed it together with some of this fresh produce, which was the spinach, and that's all to it. Now you'll see in the back I've got some field roast sausages. What I will do is roast those in the oven. I will take one of those, chop it up, and put it on top of this pasta. I will also put some vegan cheese and probably some Parmesan crumbles with some parsley, and send it to work with Mario with some sourdough bread, and that will be a nice little meal. So I have to report back on the taste. Neither one of us has tried this, but I do have to report back on that quinoa chili from last week. Mario tells me that he liked it. It was pretty good. All right, let me go ahead and move on. Now, after I did that dish, I had some leftover tomato puree. So I got back into that canning group, asked some more questions. They told me what I needed to do, and I went ahead and I canned some more tomato, and this is tomato puree to make it shelf stable. Was not hard to do, and I actually think that I've only got maybe some tomato paste left in the freezer, maybe some pizza sauce, but it's not much, so I'm not going to worry about that. All right, I also showed you all last week those corn cob jellies. This one is the corn cob jelly that had the 12 corn cobs and the sugar. This one I only had 6 corn cobs, and this is the sugar-free kind. I used monk fruit. Now, when I showed you last week, they had not gelled up rather, and it turned out that I thought that I had used pectin, but I used something else. All right, so I went ahead and I reprocessed them both. I lost a little bit, but not much. I think when I reprocessed this corn cob jelly, the regular one, I lost a half pint, which is 8 ounces. And when I reprocessed the sugar-free one, I lost a 1/4 pint, which is 4 ounces. But they went ahead and they gelled right up. You can see it's not moving or it's not liquidy anymore. So here soon, Mario and I will both try these so that I can report back on the taste. But I did want to let you know that I did reprocess them and it gelled right up. So that makes me very happy because some people do not even try to can jellies because they don't always gel. All right, so that was a plus. Moving along, if you're wondering what that picture was, I posted about Miss Wegman's dill pickle packet. Okay, I'll see if I can find a picture of it. I got it from Walmart. Kroger also has it, and it just called for the packet of pickles brine. That's what it is, the pickle brine. And you just take, I think it was 2 pounds of pickling cucumbers, slice it up, put it in a 16-ounce jar, put the brine over it, refrigerate it right away, and then after 8 hours, it tastes just like a dill pickle. I like these. I love dill pickles. Mario, they're okay for him. He loves bread and butter pickles. So what I did was, with that bread and butter pickle brine I had left over, I went ahead and I took some of those extra pickling cucumbers and I put them in the brine. Now, when I tried this not too many days ago, it still tasted like cucumbers. So I'm going to let those sit probably for another week, and then I will try it again and see if it tastes like bread and butter pickles. All right, I'm going to move on. I did a little bit of juicing. All right, and this is actually half, I want to say, of the juices that I made, but I want to share them with you because it's been a while. Now, this juice right here in the front consists of 2 cups of spinach, 2 large celery stalks, 1 green apple, 1 cup of pineapple, and 1 small nub of ginger. I tried it. Mario tried it. It's not bad, but it does have that spinach in it. So it's not a favorite of mine. I think Mario likes it more than I do. Now, the 2 juices in the back are very similar. All right. They both have the same base. All right. And I'm going to read to you what different juices that I used. What different fruits I used. It was leftovers. Okay. Pomegranate, blueberry, pineapple, orange, apple, mango, prickly pear, papaya, cantaloupe, and star fruit. And the only difference between this one in the back on the left and the one in the back on the right is beet. I added beets to the one on the right. Now, it's not my favorite fruit juice. Normally, we really like when I do a leftover fruit juice. However, like I was telling you all recently, the produce is starting to change. The vegetables, they're not as vibrant. Even the fruits are not as sweet. So it's not sweet. This juice right here probably needs a little bit of sweetener to help it. And I could say the same thing about the one with the beet. Now, it wasn't too bad for me. I could taste the beet, but not too much. Mario tasted it a lot. He did not like it at all. All right. So that is my report on my juices. I think that what I will do is what someone suggested in the juice group that I'm in for beginners. They said that you can take frozen fruit, thaw it out, and juice it. So I'm going to try that. I know that the Dollar Tree has a frozen section, and I want to try to get some of their frozen fruit and try that maybe next week. We shall see. If I do it, I will report back. All right, moving on. The sun tea that I made this time was lemon lavender sun tea. I had an absolutely beautiful day. The sun was out all day long, and it's very light, but then lavender is a very light plant. And I believe this was my first time trying it. Mario absolutely loves it. I think that it's okay. I just think that it was a new taste for me. It's very light and, of course, floral. So we'll see if I'll make that one again. Now, I can show you right there in the back my setup. I'm all ready to do my next sun tea. And I'm actually taking this to Scentsy with me. All right, I've got my jar. I've got my sweetener. You can see right there, I've got the coffee filter so I can make my tea bags. I might not take that silver one. I'll see. I'm not sure. Then I've got some black tea. And I'm trying to think of what would a 5-year-old little girl like when it comes to tea. Mario suggested maybe apple tea. What do you think? Do you think a little kid might like apple tea, or do you have an idea of something else? Let me know in the comments. All right. All right, and that is me, Gloria, on Homestead Thursdays. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to see you next week. Shalom. Bye.